So for more on this story, we're joined in the studio by Marco Vicenzino. He's the director of the Global Strategy Project, a geopolitical risk and business advisory firm here in London. Good to have you with us. And so what does Enrico Letta's departure tell us about Italian politics after the Berlusconi years, after an economic crisis? Has anything changed?
Not much has changed. What you've seen, and what's important, is symbolic, a generational change of power, but that's not being accompanied by a substantive change. So seeing someone 39 years old becoming a prime minister in Italy is something quite refreshing. But how he came into power, the palace coup, the power grab that took place, smacks of old school Italian politics.
Yeah, that's right. But one thing I guess he does have on his side, which Letta was clearly lacking, is the support of his party. He swept the primary vote that took place in December. Could he be the man to reform Italy, to make the economy competitive again? He
possesses the rhetoric of reform, which is a very positive thing. He speaks in ways much more clearly than previous Italian politicians. But there's the rhetoric of reform and there's the reality of power. Once you come into power, you're going to be confronted by the traditional entrenched vested interests of Italy, which is a whole new dynamic that he has to confront. So I think, and another thing is that he doesn't have he was never elected to office. He wasn't a member, he's not a member of parliament. So he's coming into office without a popular mandate. And if you have no popular mandate, you can only do so much in power.
Is he going to be able to deliver the kind of reform that he's promising that Letta couldn't come up with just by the sheer force of his personality?
Very difficult. What I think what needs to be done, since he possesses no popular mandate, is basically to focus on a very limited, narrow agenda. He already agreed in principle on electoral reform with Berlusconi, is to carry through that electoral reform and then from there eventually have elections. The problem is that after 3 consecutive unelected prime ministers in Italy, I think the Italian public deserves somewhat of a say on the national leadership and a restoration of the democratic, greater legitimacy to the democratic process.
Right, but Renzi is saying that he wants to stay in office until the term comes to its natural conclusion in 2018. We see that Letta only managed to stick it out for 10 months. Will Renzi do any better?
He also needs the support of elements of the center-right. So it's not that remember, when I say popular mandate, his party won the election last year by the slightest of majorities, which is not a popular mandate. So he can say what he wants, but the reality is that in order for him to deliver, he's going to need the cooperation and collaboration of other elements in the Italian political scene, which he may not have. The best thing, once again, I say, is just to focus on the electoral reform, some other pieces of reform, and then go to national elections. The Italian public deserves it after 3 unelected prime ministers.
Marco Vicenzino, thank you.
Thank you.